Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you joined me today. Today's gonna be a little bit different than some of my previous videos on unboxings because I wanna talk to you real quick about the 5 or 6 ways that Disney World has changed for 2020 and probably going into all of 2021, and some of my tips on how to make your Disney vacation the best vacation you can make it. So let's first start out with the biggest way that the Disney World, well, maybe I shouldn't say the biggest way, but I feel like it was the biggest way that Disney World has changed for travel in 2020 and heading into 2021. And that is masks. You must wear masks everywhere you go. They have to, well, this is my daughter's mask, so this isn't going to fit me very well. But they have to fit touching all the way around. You can't have gaiters. In fact, I did see a family being pulled aside because they had gaiters on. You can't have face shields. It has to be a mask. Some of my favorite masks that we wore on our vacation were these ones by Park Handy, and I will put their link down below. If you join their email list, they will send you when they have sales, and they do have sales quite often. So these are my favorite ones. Then the other, and they're like, what I love about these is their shape, the fact that they have like a little bit of metal or something in here that bends for around the nose. And they're almost like a silky material, so they're very easily to be breathed through. The next option that I have are cloth or fabric masks. These are from Old Navy, and I got these because my stepdaughter said that she found these to be very, very breathable, and she's not wrong. They are. I really do enjoy these. The other ones, these are actually from an agent friend of mine called, I will link the shop down below, but I'm pretty called on Etsy. It's called Bethy's Masks. Again, very breathable. They really form. I can't put this one on because I think, actually, no, this one is mine. I thought my daughter and I had the same exact ones. But they fit really well around your face. They're very breathable, as you can hear. I hope you can hear. I can still talk very well. And what's great about these is that you're supporting a small business, and they're Disney. And who doesn't love a Baby Yoda and Disney snacks? I don't know. Who would argue with that one? The next option, which is probably everybody's favorite, like all around easiest option, are just the disposable masks. I got a pack of 50, I think, or something like that. And then these are in the smaller kid size. I just threw several of these in my day bag every day. In my park bag, I'm sorry. Just in case we got a little sweaty, we needed a break from the other masks, we went on a water ride, any of those. These were just easy to have. And in fact, honestly, the time of year we went the week before Thanksgiving. It was beautiful weather. It wasn't too hot. There was one day where it was pretty warm, but I did kind of switch out of these if the mask started kind of irritating, like around here or here, just to switch things up. But other than that, I wore majority of those fabric masks. Okay. So that's the biggest way that Disney World has changed. And the other thing I did, because my girls are in school, so they're wearing masks full time, and my husband at work wears masks all the time. So I was the only one out of my family who wasn't used to wearing masks, so like all day long. So I did kind of wear them around the house a little bit awkwardly, although I was by myself, just to start to get kind of used to them. But overall, once I was in on the magic, I'm like, what mask wear? Like, didn't even think about it, didn't even bother me. And the cast members are very safe. I think one time it kind of like went a little bit below my nose, and they just said, excuse me, can you? And no problem. Okay, so that's the first way and the most obvious way that Disney World has changed for travel in 2020. The second way that has changed, which you may not notice so much if you're a first timer, is are the park reservation system. So when you book your vacation, you and I, if you book through me, we will just discuss a little bit on the like what parks I recommend for which days. Like that stuff hasn't changed any, except now you'll want to go on a My Disney Experience the second we get your reservation uploaded and make those park reservations. Can you change the days? Absolutely. But the biggest park that tends to fill a capacity the quickest is Hollywood Studios, and that's just because they have like two of the newest rides at Disney World that just opened. One just opened right before everything shut down. Mickey's Runaway. I can never say that. Mickey's Runaway Railway. And Rise of Resistance opened up last December. So quite a few things there. So that's why it's still very popular, and it's the smallest of the parks. So capacity in general is just smaller. So that would be my first thing that I would do. And that's one of the things that the way Disney has changed for 2020. And then still into 2021. The way things will change for 2021 is that you are able now to have park hoppers. So if for some reason you're like, I want to go to Disney tomorrow in 2020, you won't be able to have park hoppers, but in 2021 you will. And then still reservation system is still in place. And you still need to make those. But the cool thing is now if you do get a park hopper, you are able to... I think at 2:00, go ahead in and see what other parks are available, and you'll be able to hop to those parks, which honestly is usually around the time that I personally, my family park hops anyway. We usually go to someplace else for dinner or something like that. The next way that it has changed is no dining plans. And so far, for even into 2021, you will be unable to purchase the dining plans. This isn't necessarily that big of a deal for most people. My biggest tip for that is if you have any access to a BJ's, I don't even know if they still sell gift cards at Sam's Club or Costco, but I know for a fact BJ's does. And also Target, you also get discounts on Target with your Target Red card as well on gift cards. So I recommend we can figure out together how much the dining plan would have cost you if you were to add that to your reservation, and then get the gift cards accordingly. Again, that can all still be budgeted. So that's, one of the things I love about the dining plan is that you don't have to think about what you're doing, what you're going to spend, what food you want. If you want that, go ahead and get it. So just budgeting it this way, it's a little different, but it still works. You are then able to use your gift cards on mobile ordering. You're able to, all I did is I just have, the only way that it kind of is like, is that you have to have your gift card then always on you, but it's not the end of the world. And if for some reason you're like, I don't want my gift card on, you can still charge it to your room at restaurants. Mobile ordering, you cannot. That will go to your credit card that you have on file, or you just input the numbers each time from your gift card. It wasn't that big of a deal to do so. The other way, again, with the dining is that you don't make dining reservations at 180 days out. You are now making it at 60 days. So again, not the end of the world. Things still work normally. I still offer the services that I have always offered, which is I'm happy to make those reservations for you. And we can talk about all that stuff. The next thing to kind of keep on that same vein, no fast passes. And this is something that will continue for right now in the foreseeable future, even into 2021. Is this the end of the world? No. Is it something if you are a kind of a pro at fast passes, like I consider myself to be? It is a little bit of a change, but it's actually something that I really didn't mind because I am the one that is going in all the time and refreshing and trying to get those, extra or bonus fast passes, as I like to call them. It allowed me to actually, for a moment, stop and just be able to enjoy looking around. So here are my tips for being able to get around the lines. And of course, Christmas is coming up, so lines are just going to be inevitable. And right now at Disney, no matter what, lines are inevitable. I have to say the week that we went, the lines really weren't all that bad at all, even though they had risen capacity some. because of fast passes, like the lines, like for instance, a Seven Doors Mine Train, Flight of Passage, those lines are always several hours. Because no fast passes, there was no like holding back the standby queue. So one of my biggest tip is to get there early. Get there. So if the park opens at 9, the park opens at 10, you're there at least an hour early. We kind of felt like, for instance, at Magic Kingdom, it opened at 9. We drove, we had a car. So we were at the parking lot gates, you know, that sign that you see, Magic Kingdom, the toll booth. There we go. That's what I was looking for. We were there about 8. We waited about 15 minutes. We were starting to let in about 8:15. That was, on a Tuesday. On a Sunday when we went, we were actually let in 8. So it just all depends. That's why I say just get there early. We were on Splash Mountain by the time we parked, got into the into the park. I think we were on Splash Mountain by like 8:30. So 15 minutes for all said and done. And even though the park opened at 9, we got 3 rides. Yes, 3 rides in before park actually opened. Splash Mountain, Big Thunder, and Pirates. As far as where do you go first, we can discuss that on what your family's needs are. My family loves Splash Mountain. That's why we went there first. The other thing with the lines is to obviously look at My Disney Experience. The other recommendation, and this one I do recommend, but it's not a free recommendation. And that is the Touring Plans app, which is the Lines app. The app itself is free, but you have to have a subscription in order to be able to access their wait times. I did find for the majority of our trip, the wait times were pretty accurate for what Disney was saying, but oftentimes Disney will inflate the wait times to discourage people to go to wait in line because they want to alleviate some of that. The longest time I think we waited for any ride, and that's only because it broke down, was Slinky Dog and Seven Doors Mine Train. But we chose to continue waiting in line, and yeah, that was just a choice we made, and that's would be based on what your family is feeling at the time. So I always looked at the Lines app. I did a lot of comparing back and forth to see what would work. But if that's something that you don't want to invest in, then just looking at the My Disney Experience app and kind of, there will be a little guessing. So remember, we all have to social distance now. So they have lines, markers all throughout. So something like, for instance, let's see, a Seven Doors Mine Train. My husband started waiting. We were off doing other things, me and the girls. He started waiting in that line at right around Gaston's Tavern. So if you could kind of imagine how that looped around. I have seen Slinky Dog start at, or the line get all the way back up to the entrance to the Little Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios. So you can kind of see how, and then it's unfair for me to probably use those as examples because what is the biggest reason why? They actually both happened to break down. So that's probably a bad example. And I'm just trying to rack my brain to think of a good example off the top of my head. But all I know is that they looked long, but they really weren't long. As long as they looked, or even as long as they said. The wait time would be. Sometimes you can get caught up, like you're like, okay, we're almost there, and then they do a cleaning. But again, it's not the end of the world. Along with, so those are my tips for the lines. No more fast passes. And so far, fast passes, I haven't heard any rumors that they're coming back anytime soon. The next thing that's the biggest change are characters. So obviously you can't now, go meet and greet a character, go give them a hug, get an autograph, stuff like that. This is a big deal, I feel like, for a lot of people. And I can understand. I love meeting characters. And so, I was at first, to be honest, I was very much like, well, what's then the point if you can't meet characters? I was a little bit like that. But with that said, Disney is still bringing the magic with those characters. I didn't really miss the meet and greets. What not having meet and greets, what that allowed freed up time was to do other little things, to maybe wait in those lines. I did miss kind of like the photo pass pictures, which leads me to something else I probably should touch on. Our photo pass. But I didn't really miss it all that much at all. And in fact, I liked the difference of it. That's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to go this year, was because I did want to document what Disney is like during a pandemic, and all those types of things. So I didn't really miss it. The way that they've helped with that, there are some, though off the top of my head, where we stand right now in December, there are 3 character meals. Topolino's, Chef Mickey's, and Hollywood and Vine are the 3 that can come to the top of my head. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing one. And they will stand like a distance. You could take a little selfie with them. I did not do any of those this time around. Sometimes you have to make the decision the night before. I did have a Topolino's. That's one I really wanted to do, but the family just really wanted to sleep in. And sometimes you just have to make those calls as a mom and know what your family needs. And in the end, it was a good idea to just sleep in and take a little break that morning. But with that said, the reports I'm hearing come back are very good, and people are really still enjoying them and enjoying the food that they're offering. What's really cool is that the buffets are taken away. So Chef Mickey's and Hollywood and Vine, which were previously buffets, people have enjoyed the meal a lot more as it being and not an a la carte, that's like a fixed menu. You still get to choose. They still have a menu of items, and you just choose from that menu of items. The other thing that they've done now to incorporate more characters into the parks are cavalcades. And those happen randomly. But if you catch one, grab a seat, and another one should follow shortly after. The only ones that we missed them all in Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios was our very first day in the parks, and it's my first day back in the parks I don't want to count the cruise that we took that included a park day, but for all intents and purposes, was my first day in the parks in a little bit over a year. So, and with all these changes, so I kind of had to get used to everything again in a way. There's a slight learning curve, I guess. And I just kind of forgot all about the cavalcades. They happen right at the front of the park on Hollywood Boulevard. I don't know why. I just kept on missing them. And I'm a little bit mad about it. But we did catch them in Magic Kingdom, and I caught them in Epcot, and and Animal Kingdom. And I have to say, I thoroughly love them. It was a mini parade, so you felt like in Magic Kingdom, you weren't feeling like you were missing out on that. It's something new and different to Epcot and Animal Kingdom. Both used to have a parade, but that was years and years ago. So majority of people haven't seen them. So that was a lot of fun. I like the fact that in Animal Kingdom, they appeared on floats. They're called flotillas, which I thought was cute. And if you stand if I can get my editing down, I'll insert a video of me screaming out to Donald Duck at Animal Kingdom. That was all. You hear the music, and I'm like, I know what that is. Same.
Oh, I see another ship.
Get ready. Love you too, girl.
On behalf of Goofy, Chip, and Dale, we wish you all a very merry adventure here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Exactly the same thing happened at Magic Kingdom, and it was cute, like Mary Poppins. They did in October, and they're currently doing now the Halloween and Christmas parades, their floats and their characters that are on it. Oh, nice.
Everybody's having a great time.
Isn't this fun? All of our friends are here.
That's what makes the holidays so swell. From all of us.
Was going by was the music. Oh, loved it. She waved to me. You know, they make eye contact with you. Mickey at Magic at as you can see, I really enjoyed them. I didn't think I would, but I really did. So like Mickey, like in Epcot, you know, I said it was the day after his birthday. I'm like, happy birthday, Mickey. Sorry, you know, whatever. And he waved and blew me a kiss.
Mickey. Thank you.
Looking good. Looking happy birthday.
My daughter happened to catch Elsa's eye and Anna's eye, and she just loved that.
Another princess. I don't know which one that is, Elsa or Anna.
So it isn't that personal, you're getting that autograph thing, but I have to say it's really awesome, and it's a great time if you're in the parks and you just kind of need a break, find a little shady spot, sit down, watch the parades. My favorites, I love Main Street, especially at this time of year, to sit on Main Street and watch it, but if you want to quickly watch them and then like get to something else, then most of them start the parade or start their thing in Frontierland, right next to Splash Mountain, but not everyone. I do know the trolley, as an example, has Winnie the Pooh and characters, and they came out on right there at Main Street, and then make the loop around the hub. The other thing is if you just hang out on Main Street and the hub, the characters will march down the side of the train station and go up onto the train station and wave to you there. So that was pretty awesome. And it allows you to take a break, which kind of leads me into makes me go back to the next thing, which are the thing I previously mentioned, no park hoppers. We are park hopping family. Some in our party missed it. I didn't miss it all that much. I mean, once we go back and they have park hoppers, we will obviously get them, but not having them wasn't that big of a deal to us. And in fact, I kind of like the fact that it forced us to stay in the park for the whole, like, not hopping to another park. You can always leave and come back to the same park, like if you need a break or something, but having those floats and stuff like that was really awesome because it allowed us to take a break and not necessarily head back to the resort. And we had great weather too, and we didn't really feel the need to go back to the resorts. So I think that's really it. So what was it? Let's recap. I'm not sure it was 5 or 6. So it was, you have to wear the mask. That's the biggest change. No park hopping, no dining plan, no fast passes, and characters. I think I hit them all. So thank you very, very much. And I hope my tips and tricks and maybe even got you excited to maybe plan a trip and maybe not as afraid to plan a trip. So yeah, so I do want to do another video where I go a little bit into my trip and our experiences. I touched on some of them a little bit, but I definitely want to go on them a little bit more. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll get back to you. And if you're thinking about Disney and wanting to, get a little help, get a new Disney BFF, feel free to message me, or you can just ask down below and I'll be happy to reach out to you. And I think that's it. So thank you so very much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day and a great holiday. And I'll be seeing you soon.